Hey, how's everybody doing? How are you doing? Yes, today is not a beauty break. Today is just talking about dealing with stress and anxiety. How do you deal with stress and anxiety? I don't know anybody who doesn't have it. I know some people that deal with it better than others. But I have noticed that as we get older, at least I thought when I was younger, that as I got older, I would handle my stress and anxiety a lot better. But that's not the case necessarily. We have to learn how to handle our stress and anxiety, or else other things will happen to us. For instance, I think about something that holds your stress and anxiety, like a balloon. From the time you're little to the time you get older, to the age you are, every time you have a stressful event, it's like putting a little air in that balloon, right? If you don't know how to let go of it or to deal with your stress or anxiety, then you hold on to it. And it accumulates. It accumulates and it accumulates and it accumulates over time, and you're putting a little more air and a little more air in that balloon. And sometimes some anxiety is bigger than other anxiety. But by the time you fill that balloon up, what happens is eventually that balloon gets full if you have not learned how to deal with your anxiety and stress. What happens when you put too much air in a balloon? That's right, it goes pop, right? That means you go pop. That means any number of things can happen. I'm not a doctor, I'm not a psychiatrist, but I do know that stress can add to your health deteriorating. It's just a common thing to know. I'm not a doctor, and if you need to go to the doctor to deal with your stress, then you need to do that. But this is just some common sense advice that I do personally that helps me with my anxiety and stress. And this is something I've discovered and that really helps. And sometimes I have more anxiety and stress than others, but I have learned how to deal with it. So one of the first things I do when I'm having a stress attack, see, I had an anxiety attack. I have anxiety attacks when I'm in public places, and I never know if it's going to happen. Like, it could happen when in a room full of people. If there's a lot of people, people don't know I'm having an anxiety attack, but it happens to me and I have to deal with it. And I don't let other people know that it's actually happening. But I will tell you, one of the biggest things I do when I'm having an anxiety attack is take some deep breaths. And I just kind of pat myself. And I take some slow, deep breaths to calm myself down. And I will just sit and take some deep breaths, and people look at me like, why is she patting herself? They don't know what I'm doing. Sometimes I just quietly just do that. What I do is I'll take some slow, deep breaths, very slow. Don't think that you're going to add to the problem if you start going. That's not going to help. That's going to add to it. That's not helping. Nice, slow, deep breaths. Relax. Try to relax and take some slow, deep breaths. Another thing I do is I do positive self-talk. So you have to stop and think and tell yourself. You have to stop and tell yourself, I am fine. Okay, this is my self-talk. This is my self-talk. You are safe. You are loved. Everything's going to be all right. And you know you're safe, unless you're like hanging off a cliff or something. And sometimes it feels like it, but you have to realize your body can be reacting, or your brain can be reacting, and you're overreacting. And you have to stop and really take in what's going on around you. Okay, yes, I'm fine. I'm safe. Everything's going to be okay. And generally speaking, everything does turn out okay, right? Right? Right. Unless, you know, it's a disaster or something, and then we have to know how to deal with disasters. But for just having an anxiety attack or having extra stress that day, that's really good to tell yourself you're safe, everything's all right, everything's gonna be all right, you're loved, you know, things like that. Just talk yourself down. Okay, for those of you that believe in God or in a higher power, I stop and I say a prayer. And I ask for a peaceful, calm heart. That's what I do. Not everybody believes in doing that, but that's something that I do. So you can take that or leave it. If you're just thinking about the same thing over and over again, all that negative stuff that's going on in your head over your anxiety, you know, like maybe you don't have enough money to pay the bill right now, or whatever it is. It could be just an accumulation of a lot of little things that are causing you anxiety. I just tell myself, I'm not thinking about that right now. I will not think about it now. I will deal with it later. It's gonna be okay. I'm not thinking about that right now. And I really do things to take my mind off of it. So what do you do to take your mind off of it? I'll go in the other room and I'll take some hand weights and I'll just start lifting weights. Or I'll do some squats, or I'll go in the kitchen and I'll do counter squats. So for those of us that are older, we can hold onto the counter and we just squat down. You don't have to go all the way down. You just squat down till you're comfortable and just move your body. Squat. Do some things that are gonna cause you, exert yourself. That's if your doctor says it's okay. But I go in and I do as many squats as I can handle. And then before you know it, you're focusing on your squats. Okay, so, or wait, like I said, lift some hand weights. If you have 5-pound weights, whatever, do something physical, or lift your arms up and move your body, you know, just do something else than think about the problem. Call a friend. Now, you don't have to do these on the list according to the list. You can take any one of these. Doing 1 or 2 of them is gonna help. Call a friend. Tell your friend you're upset. Have somebody that you love, know that loves you and you feel safe with, and call a friend and just talk. A family member, somebody that you feel safe with. Call and talk about your anxiety, you know? Or sometimes if you don't want to talk about your anxiety or talk about what's going on, you can just call and see how other people are. That'll take your mind off of things. All right. Another thing I do, go for a walk. Just, if it's not raining outside and it's a nice day, put on a hat, put on your tennis shoes, and go for a walk. It doesn't have to be very far. It could just be around the block. It could just be, you know, go get in your car and go to the park and walk around the park. Something. Go somewhere where it's safe and go for a walk. Better yet, get a friend to go for a walk with you. You know what I like to do? Another thing I like to do is I put on some soft music. And I do some mild stretching. If you don't want to stretch, just put on some soft music. That always helps. I think that's about 9 so far, but my final one is journaling. You need to write down what's going on. It's a good thing. Write it out. Maybe you don't even know why you're having an anxiety attack. Generally, if you sit down and you write, that's going to tell you your brain, your heart and your brain, everything starts working. The thoughts of what's causing the anxiety will come forward. And even if you know what's causing the anxiety, just writing it down, it feels like it gets it out of your system. You're letting some air out of the balloon, right? So that it doesn't pop or cause damage to your body. So there, those are things that I've learned. I don't go and take a pill. I don't, you know, like some people take medication to just, you know, like an anti-stress medication of some kind, you know, like Xanax or something. I don't, unless you absolutely have to, but that's between you and your doctor. So there you go. Those are the things that help me with my stress. A lot of times there's stress here at the office. I will actually stop and take some deep breaths. I will do some of those things. I will go in the kitchen and do some squats. I'll tell myself it's going to be okay. And, you know, there's times when something gets thrown at me and I don't know what to do about it. And I just tell myself I'm a problem solver. I just say, Yaya, you're a problem solver. Solve this problem. And eventually I do solve the problem. Trust me, it really works. So I hope you guys are having a great day. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for subscribing. If you've been with me for a while, well, you know I love you, right? And it's not going to cost you a dime to subscribe to my channel, so why not take a chance and subscribe? Okay, you guys, I gotta go. I just thought I would pop in there with some help for anxiety. You know, I wonder how many other people are having anxiety these days. And I just wanted to share what I do. So, with that being said, I will see you later in the next video. Bye for now. Mwah.